the decision was made the 70s could reorganize stakes and call stake presidents. And in doing so, stake president has to hold keys. And the whole doctrine of the keys came into focus, and each member of the 12 holds all of the keys, so that if a member of the 12 succeeds to be president of the church, he already holds all his authority. The stake president has to have keys. Keys of the presidency of the stake. Well, if a member of the 12 was there, he could easily give them. What would happen if it's a 70? Well, 70 is by delegation. Can do anything the 12 tell them to do, and they can confer keys, which would be an extension of the keys of the 12. So now, after all this time, when I think of the wrestling that was done in the councils, well, can we do this? Is that right? Can we do that? After consulting the scriptures and trying to figure it out, we would do what we did in the first place, resort to prayer and ask the Lord what to do, and he'd always tell us what was the next step.
A 70 goes out under apostolic power from the quorum of the 12, and so when I receive an assignment to go to a stake, to participate in a stake conference or whatever other assignment, I go with apostolic keys and authority as depending upon that assignment. And so in a very literal sense, I carry that power and authority with me, and it's a wonderful thing to go out and do that, and to feel that, and to interact with the people and do that work and accomplish that. And then that authority goes back because that assignment's completed.
But Brigham Young was told by Joseph Smith he's going to ordain some 70s, and he said, be sure and give them the apostolic authority. So when a 70 is ordained, either general authority or the area 70s, they have conferred upon them the apostolic authority. And there are privileges that belong to all the officers in the priesthood. The teacher can do something that the deacon can do, and the deacon can't do what the priest can do, but a priest can do everything that a teacher and a deacon would do. And so it is that one with the apostolic authority can do anything. It's clear they're not apostles ordained as such as the office, but they have conferred upon them that authority. So we don't lack for sending somebody somewhere to do something that has to have that authority.
You know, I feel very humbled with even the thought of trying to extend the 12, and certainly take great care to try not to teach anything that they aren't teaching.
With such a worldwide organization of 70 now, how does the First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12 ensure that they're trained properly, and how is it actually done?
We do most of the training at a general conference. Once a year, they're all called in from all over the world. And we have 320 right now of the 70s, and spend a few days training. But the question of training is interesting because generally they don't need much. A little in the procedures of the church, some do's and don'ts. The first section of the Doctrine and Covenants, which was given as a revelation, at the time it was published, it wasn't first in consecutive order. But there's a very interesting sentence in there. It says that every man might speak in the name of God the Lord, the Savior of the world. So any worthy elder who's called and ordained an elder holds a Melchizedek priesthood. He holds as much priesthood as I do, as the president of the church holds. Different office, but all the priesthood he needs. How do we train them? They train themselves, really. Grow up and learn how to receive revelation, how to run the church, and incredible, really.
I wasn't raised in the church, but my mother taught me to read the scriptures from a young child. So I'm grateful for her influence in my life. I think of a mission as a young man as being a very pivotal change for me. I joined the church, and a year later went to serve a mission. A mission president had a tremendous influence in my life, and I'm grateful for him and his good wife, who set a great example and taught us many things. So I think that those early beginnings are very important for any future service in the church.
The scriptures say that it will be given at the very minute, that portion which will be meted out to every man. That's very comforting. There's not much fear involved. Once you know the Lord and know the process of revelation, and He never fails to tell you what to do.